You are listening to Bang Radio.
Hey, what's happening, guys? We are in Hawaii and a beautiful sunset going on behind me. And this video that we're about to watch is about relationships. And this is kind of a pet peeve that I have, especially within the seduction industry, because there aren't people in this industry who really have good relationships, who show you what really the end goal of all this is. And there's this misconception about value and achieving something and looking at it in the wrong way. And it's kind of disheartening and fucked up because this industry's been around for a long time. There's lots of teachers, lots of instructors, but I mean, hey, I've had plenty of girlfriends, but to have the commitment, to have the relationship, to have the sharing of life that is naturally flowed through me that I have with Mayeda and raising stable, I just don't hear a voice. That's what this video is about. If you want to check out the article, go to thesexuallife.com/112 and you can read a pretty cool thing on it that we did just for you and probably download something for free. I'm not sure what it is because I haven't really made it out yet. Anyway, let's watch this video. Thank you so much for your support. Subscribe to the channel. You can also find this on iTunes and Stitcher and all sorts of cool free stuff all here from TSL. So this is about relationships. This is about connecting with women and, you know, doing all the things that, you know, God is being a good expression of yourself as a man or a woman or whatever it is, that you're progressing. You know, you're moving in these different areas of your life. And I think in order to be a full expression of yourself, and if you are a man, you're going to be having sex with women. You're going to be talking to women. Part of knowing the great benefits of masculinity is learning how to build those connections. And that's really what we talk about in the sexual life. Now, one thing that I hate that always conflicts with this is that so many people that email me, that talk to me, and I suppose it has to do with the business that I'm in, they all are expecting some sort of checklist, some sort of list of achievable accomplishments that will make them have a good relationship, a system, a thing that, you know, a very masculine idea of the roadmap, so that I can be assured that without fail, I'm going to gain the traits of masculinity. And it doesn't work that way. You know, if you want to have a good sex life, if you want to connect with women, if you want to know what it's like to be a man, to make decisions, to be in pain, to still make the right or wrong decisions, but live with it and be responsible of it and be the best expression of yourself, man, you have got to put your foot out there in the world. You've got to venture out. You've got to experience. You have got to be you and hold on to that. And so many times, man, over and over again, whether it has to do with relationships, whether it has to do with sex, whether it has to do with approaching somebody so that we never get rejected and we never feel pain, we take on this mindset. And I see this huge movement of men, of kids, boys, whatever it is, all wanting to sacrifice their experience. In fact, sacrificing what they believe in, their expression of themselves, who they are, their ideals, their values. Sacrifice that. Sacrifice everything that gives them meaning in their life just so they won't feel pain. And then we follow a model, we follow some image of a guy, we follow some guru that is preaching some impossible routine of bullshit. And this all came about with relationships, and there was an email back and forth. Somebody who was listening to Bang Radio or messaged me on Facebook, actually. They said, Steve, I listened to your podcast episode, and you know, I'll put it up on the blog article of this, what they actually wrote, but it wasn't that beneficial. Basically, I wanted to know more than just don't listen to pickup guys about relationships, you know, because pickup guys tend to not be very good at relationships. You know, it's a very hard thing for me to learn, and really I learned how to do that outside of what was being told in the pickup scene. And he said, man, I didn't learn what I was really looking for. And so I said, cool, man, what are you looking for? And he said, man, I was looking for, you know, more of this, you know, how can I have the frame to be a man, that when you're entering in a relationship, it is all about you being a good representation of yourself, and then a woman will follow that, and then you give yourself to her, but then you take it back in order to whatever, all this weird shit, right? That isn't how it works. That isn't how relationships are made. That isn't what gives us the qualities of being a man. You know, and there was so much to how this guy wrote that it refused to admit failure. that he already knew the answers, but he wanted extra help, that he wasn't in a place of desperation. But look, let me break it down to you. If you're somebody that is having relationships with women, if you're somebody that is having connections, I don't give a fuck what they are, because I've done all of the ones that I've wanted to do. I've had multiple long-term relationships. I've had relationships that have gone on for 3, 4, 5 years with multiple women at one time. I've had ones where we all were, swinging. I've had ones where I was dishonest. I've had ones where they were dishonest. And the thing about it all is that no matter what you do, no matter how much you think you want, no matter how good you get at controlling it, and believe me, man, I can almost guarantee you that, man, I've lived in being able to hold the tension of a lot of crazy, chaotic, different environments, but it will never work out how you planned. And if you are going into connecting with another woman, the people around you in your life, whether that's your social circle, your love affairs, whatever it is, if you are going into it with the mindset that I'm going to somehow get all the things that I want, usually coming from a point of sexual desperation. I'm going to get 4 women to fuck me and serve me, or I'm going to have 3 fuck buddies, or I'm going to, whatever, get a woman who's going to do everything that I ever want, sexually, socially, make me look good, and I'm finally going to be cool. That mindset comes from somebody who hasn't socialized. That mindset comes from somebody who hasn't really connected with another human being. That mindset comes from not of what you were born to be social, born to be sexual. That doesn't come from your expression. That comes from desperation. That comes from not having. That comes from not eating and being starved and looking to whatever society says it's supposed to, make you satiated, make you feel fulfilled. And you thinking that that's achieved, and somehow you've convinced yourself that's possible. Here is the real deal. I am in a relationship. I am committed in it. We're currently monogamous, not because we believe in monogamy. I think that, it's up for everybody to decide what they want, but because both of us have had plenty of amazing relationships with people. We've had all the sex that we've wanted, and we want to commit to one another. But guess what? There are times where I and Maria are at odds, where we aren't sexually hitting it off, where we aren't emotionally hitting it off. There are times when we are angry at each other for days, maybe even for weeks. But guess what? One of the things that I know in terms of the things that I value, and this is what I value, this is my story, this isn't your story, you need to make your own story. But one of the things that I know about my story is that I want to be with her. When I decided that I was going to be in her life and committed to it, when I decided that we were going to have kids, and I don't want to make it sound like these are all my decisions when she makes her independent decisions as well. But when we made those decisions, and when we committed to them, we committed to something bigger. All right? We committed to that. But guess what? I'm also 37. Guess what? I've also had many relationships. Guess what? I've experimented with so many different things. And not that one is right or wrong or better than the other, but right now in my life and with Maria, we're living how we want to live. To be polyamorous, maybe we will. We're definitely not against it. It's something that, we've experimented with, not ourselves, but in past relationships. We might, decide to go separate ways. We might decide to stay together. But all of that is dependent upon a few things. Me expressing myself, her expressing herself, being honest with each other, and connecting with people. Connecting with a group of men. One of the things that, I may have founded TSL, but I'm a member of TSL and I work within it. But Jesus Christ, I would not be able to have sustained this relationship if I didn't have a group of men who I was honest with. What's up, Wilbur? Wilbur is my other dog, one of them. 2 years old, just turned 2. A wild beast of a dog. But, man, I could not have made those decisions, to have been able to hold that tension, to hold that pain, to hold those feelings of inadequacy, if I didn't have a solid men's group of, TSL and what we do there to connect with, to decompress from, to find sanity from. Because let me tell you, man, no matter how much you plan it, and this is what you're fucking waiting for, you know. This is the real system. This is the real frame. Enter TT, another dog. I only have 3, guys. I only have 3. But when you enter that zone, when you enter that zone of where, let's say, your girlfriend cheats on you, or when you enter that zone of where you get rejected, or when you enter that zone, and this is the one that I love to fucking talk about, when you have everything, because I have had everything. I've had all the sex I've wanted, I've had all the status I've wanted, I've had everything that was supposed to make me happy as a man, but as soon as my woman left me, I felt like shit. And when you enter that, and when you feel that, that's when you will stop fucking around and being a fucking boy, looking for a system, looking for something to keep you safe, and start willing to walk and know how to be responsible, know how to take the steps in front of you when nothing else is working in your favor. And man, that is the life that I want to live from. That is the sexual life. And if you want to learn how to express yourself, man, that's what you have to do.